You are now tuned in to the motherfucking Ambition Hour podcast on Worth the Wait Radio. You ready?
It's the Ambition Hour, baby. It's the Ambition Hour, baby. It's the Ambition Hour,
Yo,
baby.
and welcome to the Ambition Hour podcast. It's your girl, Claudia Renee, on your airwaves. And this is episode 166. We are here, bitch. We back in the studio. Dang, I done started the episode cussing. I'm sorry, mama. I am so excited. We are back. As you can see, we are back at the studio. It was a long time coming, but we are back and we are here. And I'm so excited, so grateful to be back yet again for another week with you guys. I am, of course, joined by my co-host, Hav 600 in the building.
Yes, sir. We are here.
So excited to have you here as well, Hav. Last time that we were all together, it was with Spits and Flight.
Yeah.
For last week's episode. Thank you to everybody who tuned in and showed love to the video or the audio. We appreciate you if you took time to listen.
And the visual, we got the views up.
And yes, sir. Thank you for that. That means you guys missed us. Thanks. I also want to say
we missed you guys too.
Yes, we missed you guys. We missed recording here in our studio, our at-home studio. So we are grateful to be back here. Like we were never gone.
Worthy Productions back up and running.
Yes, sir. Worthy Productions back on. Speaking of Worthy, Worth the Wait artist Spitz has dropped Re5. So make sure that you guys go ahead and cop that. It's available everywhere that you listen to, wherever you enjoy your musical experiences, I like to say.
Yeah.
So shout out to that. We just saw Spitz, Flight, and Hop perform the other night at an open mic at Roots in Wynwood, I believe that's where it is.
Yeah, we premiered the song Rude.
Yes, and they premiered a song, and the three of them performed. It was the kind of like old days. It was nice because we went last week and they performed, but we didn't get to see it because things happen, Things happen, and you just sometimes listen. What I like to say is it's divine timing. Sometimes things don't go at the time that you need them to go, but for that moment, it's something that it's supposed to happen. So I guess now we can go like how we start the episode usually, right? On what we're grateful for.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I guess I'll go first and what I'm grateful for this week. And I just want to say that I am just genuinely grateful for just like how my life is going. I remember last year being in the situation that I was. I had just gotten laid off of my job. I had filed for unemployment, hadn't gotten any unemployment. The money that I had saved was not quickly, but it was running out because I had responsibilities. I had bills. Like just because the pandemic happened and because I lost my job, the bills that I had, like the light bill, I still had to get paid. My phone bill still had to get paid. Like there was certain things that just had to get paid. I couldn't get around that. And so I'm just grateful that I am not in that situation anymore and that I'm able to be in a time in my life right now where it's like the complete opposite of where it was last year, and feeling like, wow, like I remember just praying for this. Like this, I posted this the other day that it said like, I hope you have days where you're just like, man, I prayed for this. And I remember just praying for days like this. And I remember even like just like little things that have happened this week. Like I just remember being like, man, I know that's going to happen and just wait for it. And then it ended up happening. So I am just grateful to no longer be in the situation that I was in last year. So that's what I'm grateful for. What about you, Hav?
Like fierce conversations or vulnerable conversations, the ones that you don't want to have, and sometimes that you need to have, and probably pull back the curtain a little bit and just kind of not let people know what the fuck's going on in your brain and how you approaching things. Sometimes it's good, one, to clear the air or some to get an understanding, or also to figure out if you're tripping or not.
Because sometimes we be tripping.
Yeah.
If we telling the truth, not to interrupt you, but.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. And also just having, just a conversation that could allow, some sort of guidance or even, an aha or, an epiphany to happen, and just being open to that is just pretty cool. So, yeah.
Great. I'm happy for you. I love that you have people in your life that you're able to be vulnerable with. That's something that I love that you have, that I have. I'm very grateful to have. And something that I keep hearing is people seek professional guidance because their friends always want what's best for them and what's their best interest. And a lot of the times friends usually give advice based off of their own experiences. And even though that's great, that's great. And that's something that's really, really good. Seeing somebody who is able to help you in those times sometimes is good as well. I did want to mention that May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so shout out to that.
Shout out to that. And if you are someone that is going through something, maybe depending on how deep it is, seeking professional advice isn't really that deep as you don't think about it like that, oh, you must be broken or something is wrong. Mm-mm. No, maybe you just need someone to, speak objectively about it. Maybe everyone else is not making sense, or you just don't value or respect anyone's opinion, because that could be true too. Sometimes, some people are seeking validation, but it's from who, but from who? They may have it from their peers or their parents or anything like that, but that's not who they want it from. So,
yeah.
That could lead up to a couple things. So we're here for you. If you need someone to talk to, get a little ambition more than just the hour, you could slide into the DMs. And
I was gonna say I can help you find a therapist.
Also that too.
But but you would have to
like
message me.
That sounds like a little deep. Like
Like what? Oh
I can find you a therapist.
I mean, or I can at least recommend somewhere that you can find a therapist, which I think is cool. I guess I'll just say that now. You can go on Psychology Today, and psychologytoday.com. You can literally put your zip code, and it'll show you all the therapists in that area. And you can also make it like further away from you if you're open to, traveling however long you can travel. Something that I know for a fact. This is what I work in, guys. So I'm sharing little things that I think are good. And okay, so something that's good is to know the difference. Do you want to do your sessions virtually, or do you want to do your sessions in person? Because of the pandemic, a lot of offices are not opening their doors to the public because they want to maintain, the safety of the employees, etc. And so if you are the type of person that you have to have that like person to person type of engagement to where there isn't a screen in front of you, then look for an office that's going to offer the in-office type of appointments. If you are the type of person that it doesn't matter, or that it doesn't matter where the therapist lives, you just want to see that therapist because you feel they're going to be a good match, then telehealth is definitely for you. But it's just something that you have to think about, because at the end of the day, it's something that is for your mental health. And for some of you, maybe all of you, you have to pay for these sessions, and you have to, because your insurance doesn't fully cover it. So you have to make sure that you're making the right decision. And if you don't like the therapist, speak to the people at the office, let the people at the office know, hey, I didn't feel this type of connection with this therapist. Do you have another therapist in your office? 9 times out of 10, they're going to want to help you find that other therapist. So that way you're getting the help that you need, because that's what they want. So yeah, I got a little.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. No, you killed that. Extra noise for that.
Yeah.
You gotta go tell them the site once again. What was it?
It's called Psychology Today, and you can find, like I said, you can just go there, and it'll literally have all the information of the therapist. You can see a picture. You can see what they offer. Some of them have the information of the insurances that they accept and what their strengths are and what do they have experience in. And some of them, I think you can even see the degrees and stuff that they have. So it's a really good website. I have seen a lot of people use it, so I know it's a good website. And I know there's another one called BetterHelp. I'm not 100% familiar with it. I just saw it on my Instagram, and why not share it? Because if Psychology Today doesn't work, then BetterHelp is another one that can help as well. Yep. Something else that I want to add is when you're calling these places, or when you're filling out surveys or whatever, think about what is it that you want to accomplish. What is your goal? At the end of the day, you're going to therapy for what? Is it because somebody said it would be good? Is it because you genuinely want the change? Is it because you are like, I guess like when How was sharing like the whole about being vulnerable, you know, with like the vulnerability and things like that, that's what kind of like made me think of the therapy. And I think that that's why I brought it up, because that's something that I noticed, that people, they have people around them that they can be vulnerable with, but there's nothing like an outside type of view that isn't biased, that doesn't know, you know, doesn't know your life story, doesn't know so much, that is going to be, they're just going to give you the professional opinion, or they're what's going to help. It's not even, it's just what's going to fix it. At the end of the day, the therapist's goal is not to fix you. It's to help you understand and kind of like how to cope with your anxiety, with your depression, with your panic attacks, with your eating disorder, anorexia, all of these different things, whatever it is that you may be experiencing. So think about if you want to be doing it weekly, if you want to be doing it bi-weekly. Is it something that you're doing because, like how I said, you want to do it because somebody's telling you to do it, a doctor's telling you to do it, and like create like a goal? Because sometimes these companies, I can't speak for other companies, I just know what I do. And for me, like, I want to know like what is the person that I am speaking to on the phone's goal? They want to come here to do what? They want to, okay, so they want to learn how to do this. They want to learn how to cope with this. Because if you don't want it, it's not going to work. So it's not going to work with anybody. So if you're not willing to do the work, then it's not going to help. So those are just some things that, as someone who works in that field, can give you. These are just like organic tips that off the dome. So yeah,
the dome bars.
Yeah, so I hope I hope that helps. Again, I said it's Mental Health Awareness Month, so I wanted to go ahead and highlight that. I asked on my story the other day, what was the area that you feel is the most affected or at risk when your mental health, okay, what area is more affected when your mental health is at risk? Meaning when you feel like your anxiety, doubtful, fearful, all of these things. Hav and I were having a conversation where I was expressing to him how I noticed that in a state of fearfulness, in a state of anxiety, and a state of stressfulness, and a state of all of these mix of things, I noticed that I physically like not hurt myself, but it's like a distraction. You know, like I bite my lip, the inside of my lip. And like, yeah. And I just like, I like, and then like the around of my, around my, like, it's horrible, to the point where my lips are like super red, because I am just like going at them. And that's because this past week, I felt that way. I felt stressed. I felt doubtful. I felt less than. I felt so many different things. And so I am so happy to be sitting here, full face of makeup, looking fly, doing the podcast. Because it was one of those, it was one of those weeks to where I knew that my mental health just was not good. And I knew that I had to do something to fix it, to help it, and thankfully I work in a field again where I am able to express myself in a certain way that is not being judged, and I'm able to fix how I feel and keep it moving. So what were we going to say, How?
No, nothing. No, that is real ones. No, real ones could relate to at least that anxiety, or that what you would say, tick. And sometimes it changes places, you know, for some people, right? It might be the lip the 1 month, and then it might be their fingers the next, you know, or right, or just scratching themselves, right? So it's just it's no.
But I'm always scratching myself. It's such a bad habit.
Right, it is a bad habit, but it is also like signs or ticks of a little bit of anxiety, you know.
Oh yeah.
So
I was reading on Twitter on the topic of mental health
or discomfort.
Oh yes, the discomfort. Well, the discomfort can be categorized in the same as like doubtful.
Yeah, right.
And I feel like doubtful is something that a lot of people don't talk about. Is like feeling doubtful, like feeling like I'm not meant to be here, or I'm not really good at this job, or I'm not really good at whatever it is that you know you're really good at, but
Yeah, even though I'm thankful for the day that we're in now, that we talk about mental health a little bit more openly than probably any generation. But yeah, it's just also a messed up system in a way, because how, like, the whole idea is just be perfect, or like suck it up, or you're supposed to know what you want. You're supposed to be, you're supposed to be confident and all that stuff. That sometimes when you're not that, you feel like, damn, like you have to pull up this front.
yeah.
And like you are afraid to kind of tell someone that, oh, maybe you are doubtful, like what you're saying, but
Yeah. That's something that I noticed that this past week, that I had to be honest with myself, and that comes with awareness. Like, you just have to be aware. Sometimes you just have to pay attention to the signs, because a lot of the times, they're right in front of you.
What they say, the writing's on the walls, or
Yeah,
whatever?
the writing's on the walls. Like, it just, the truth always comes to light, basically. Like,
Yeah.
it's something that is so easy to say, but it's the fucking truth, man. It's yeah.
So speaking on mental health, if I may just ask a question, so like, how, we're this the ambition hour, so how are you doing with that mental health, or do you feel like it took a toll with not doing the episodes as frequently as we did? Because we got to talk to the audience about that too, like of.
Oh, good question. I didn't want to okay. During the time that we were on a break, I enjoyed it and hated it at the same time. I enjoyed it because there was shit on the internet that would happen that I could care less about. And I was like, thank God I don't have to act like I care about this for the sake of the podcast. Like, because there's just
journalism.
There's just certain things that, like, you kind of got to talk about, and it's not that I don't want to, or that I'm being forced to, or because for the culture, like, I have to talk about these things. It's just it's just like, I see them and I'm like, oh, okay, I got to talk about this because I actually do have an opinion about this. But during the time that we were on break, it was just like, oh, thank God I don't even have to form an opinion about this. I can just move on. And I was like, oh, so that's what that feels like, right?
Yeah, that's real.
And
especially with the weeks of doing it. Yeah, 100.
Yeah, especially
100+
with,
weeks.
because there's times where some of these little things that we pull out is, it's fillers. If we're being quite honest, it's just like, so did you see what was on Twitter? Like,
Yeah,
let's
talk about this.
Yeah, it's just like it's fillers, because those are always conversations that I'm just like, I save them for the podcast anyway, instead of tweeting or responding or retweeting whatever the fuck, the quoting the tweet. I'd rather just talk about it on the podcast. So that was cool. And then I hated it because I fucking love doing this. Like, this is part of who I am. This is something that I do every week. So not like, I have been doing this every week for 3 years. I don't know what a week, I didn't know what a week without doing this was. Like, even if we had recorded episodes like weeks in advance, we were either already recording or we were doing something for the podcast, whether it was editing the episode. Like, I didn't have to edit a podcast on a Friday night and make sure that everything was posted. I could just go to sleep. Like, that was like crazy to me. Like, but I'm so grateful that we took that break, because it made, like, look at my smile right now. Like, I am smiling from ear to ear, because I am just, well, I don't really smile that much, but it's just a different feeling. I love,
when it's gone a little bit more.
yeah. After the love is gone.
So,
I
like,
shouldn't have it.
for people that don't know, so yeah, like in Worthy Productions, right, or in the in-house studio, right? So, in the room, we basically had to redo the roof.
Yeah.
So they were working on the roof and shit. But even though, I think it kind of helped us out, because I don't know, man, the acoustics sound a little bit better in this motherfucker.
They sure do. Can
Right?
you hear me?
It is a little colder too, so that's
I don't
good.
feel, well, I'm also wearing a bra, so maybe that's why I'm not
Wait.
hot.
Those who are wondering, and those who are placing bets, go ahead and collect your earnings. So also,
How about you? How was your mental health while?
well, like without the room or without the without the podcast.
Well, let's
for a
go with
little
the
bit?
podcast. You can talk about the room too if you want.
Well, just like with the podcast and not being there, one, I mean, of course, I'm always concerned about you. You know, like, damn, like, how are you gonna take it, or how are you taking it? And also, I
So
was
sweet.
almost like excited or like energetic, or there was times that I was like, damn, man, right now would be perfect for us to shoot a podcast, you know, or
Yeah.
we'll be talking or whatever like that. And it's like, man, this is a fucking podcast question, you know, like, or we just did a podcast just now, because you know that's where this also originates from. It's just like, we'll have these deep conversations. What if we had them recorded? We could play them back.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what I felt about it, and kind of just, and then bummed out. But it was like, I guess, like how you said, a little bittersweet. Like, it was kind of like, okay, I don't gotta, you know, like, all right, I don't gotta worry about what day of the week that we're doing.
Yeah,
you
like,
know,
when
you're
are we doing it? The makeup for me, like the makeup, because there's on the way to work makeup, because I'm a car makeup artist.
I'm dead.
I'm
So stay safe out there.
I'm a
ladies and
car
gentlemen.
makeup artist. Listen, I done got a nice technique to where I can drive my car
Oh my God.
and focus on the road. I'm not even looking at myself in the mirror. I'm just letting the makeup feel my skin and just
Oh, she got that blind control.
and just hug it and just hug it.
Dang. So you know your face like that? You know your
I
body?
do. Well, yeah. And then of course when the light comes or whatnot, then I'll like, okay, I don't look crazy. So then I keep proceeding. But the thing is that it's just kind of like, it's just like riding a bike, bro. We just got lost. But what the fuck were we talking about?
No, we're talking about like being away from the podcast or like doing that. I wonder if it's kind of the same way like an athlete. Did you ever feel like this? Like, oh wow, like kind of like I'm injured, I'm hurt, and then seeing other podcasts or other things, you know, or other people talk about whatever, you know, and we follow other podcasters too. So like, you know, like did that hurt, or like kind of like, damn, I might miss a step, or like, am I slacking off? You know what I mean? Like in a sense. Cause that's how I felt a little bit about the room being out. Like, damn, you know, I'm not on it.
You're not on it.
I'm not on it. You know, I'm not on it like I used to, and like that being on it does so much for me.
Yeah.
You know, which is crazy, but it's like it's what I love. You know, I love doing this shit.
Something that I would always tell myself during that time was, because of course I think like how you're like what you're saying, like you look to the left, you look to the right, and you're like, wow, they have continued dropping. But I also know all of these podcasts have taken breaks too.
Right.
So why
And my dog had no days off.
Yeah,
after,
so I was
after 2 years of working.
3
years of working.
3 years. So I was the one who actually said like we should take advantage of, like to me I was just like, we need to take advantage of this. Like they're gonna be working on the room. Cool, fuck it. We won't do the podcast. Like we'll just take a break, and that's that. Like, and then we'll pick up right off where we left off. Like it's simple as that. It's there's nothing bigger. There's nothing better. Like it's literally
it's not the end.
It's not the end.
Yeah.
You just, and then the reason why we did the last 2 episodes was because I was definitely like, there is no longer a reason as to why I should continue to wait to drop this. I know the studio is going to be ready in a couple of weeks, so let me at least get an episode, 2 episodes, so that way I'm ready. By the time that the studio is ready, we already got the episodes done, so we don't got to worry about them. We don't have to worry about rushing to get everything ready. Nothing. It's like it worked out timing wise perfectly to have recorded those 2 episodes when we did, drop them when we did. It just made so much sense. Shout out again to DJ EFN for letting us use his space, as well as Boris for being the audio engineer. Yeah, that was a blessing. We were able to knock out 2 episodes in that session, and it was so much fun. Shout out again to Spitz and to Flight for joining us.
Definitely shout out.
Listening to those episodes back was so awesome. I actually want to share, because I did a 3-day cleanse after we recorded those episodes, and I want to shout out VJ, who somebody else I went to high school with. who did the cleanse for me. I bought it for her. I was talking to Hav about it. It's basically six juices a day. And it got to the point to where I liked them so much that I would look forward to some of them. Like there was like the fifth one of the day. I would look forward to it every single night that I had to drink it. It was so good. It was great. I felt amazing. On day 4, once I weighed myself and everything, I realized that I had lost 4 pounds. I really wasn't doing it for that. I honestly was doing it because, you know, when you just feel like you're just like full and you haven't even eaten.
Yeah.
Like I felt like that daily and I didn't like that feeling anymore. I knew that I needed to shock the fuck out of my body and I wanted to do it in the most natural way possible. And juicing to me proved to me what I had been hearing about it for years. And I'm very grateful that I did it because it introduced me to a different appetite. It introduced me to a smaller appetite to the point where like I don't have to eat as much anymore because I was able to realize I would literally like I would be so hungry and drink a juice and be fine. So when your body notices that and sees that, it's kind of like, oh, I don't really need that much, you know, to get full. Like if I can drink a juice and drink some water and I'm straight, like, why have I been eating so much, you know? And so when I was introducing food back into my body, I think the 4th day, like after like 1 o'clock is when I really introduced food to my body because I still wasn't hungry. I didn't even really know what to eat the next morning. I was kind of like confused because I didn't want to, because this was the first time that I had done like a juice cleanse. I've done like smoothies where like I'm adding like honey and like shit to my smoothies. But like this was like nothing, no sugar, no caffeine, no, like the only thing I'm drinking in is these two, is the juice and the water. That's all I'm having. I could have had like raw fruits, but I wanted to see if I could do the 3 days without doing that. So then I did. So like I said, it was just like a whole new thing for me and I loved it. I want to do a 5-day one possibly before my birthday. So
that's what's up. Yeah. And it's a good experience. You know, now you know what that juice life is like.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And like I said, it's been like maybe 2 or 3 weeks and I feel great. I feel amazing. I feel good. Like, yeah. And I also, I've noticed that my dairy intake has gone down as well. So
that's good. Yeah. Dairy is one of those things that, you know, we shouldn't be eating too much or overindulging into it too much. But damn, man, shout out to Tiago's and them goddamn.
I fucking love like a quesadilla or like cheese on anything.
Right, yeah.
Like cheese on anything is just like perfection. And like Wahab said of Tiago's, and I really want that. And they close at 2 a.m. tonight. So, but no. But yeah, so it just showed me to be more mindful of different things. And so I'm just really grateful and happy for that. So yay. So if you ever consider doing a juice cleanse,
consider my friend.
Consider my friend, VJ.
Yeah,
I can.
How many do we gotta sell for us to get one for free?
Oh, you're funny. That's a good question though. I know that's right. Okay. So moving along, I want to talk about this Selena series. Have you finished it?
Yeah, I finished it. Yeah.
So
yes, I did.
How many times did you cry?
Oof. In just one episode, or like what are you saying, or like what that last episode, or like you're saying like the whole part 2?
I feel like I cried every episode.
Yeah, no, definitely a lot of waterworks. I mean, yeah, and it just touches on feelings, and it also touches on one of the main values that I have in my life. You know, one of my top priorities, or you could even say part of my my philosophy, which is family. You know, how family is super important, you know, and just seeing like the bond between brother, sister, and you know, mom and daughter, you know, father and son. It's just that you already have, you know, there you have that, and then of course you have the star, the queen, the, like, you know, the everything, you know, the complete package.
Yeah.
You know, and then it ends how it ends, and it sucks. You know, I'm surprised there wasn't an uproar. Like, you know, like sometimes I feel like, can't y'all just keep on writing it like they still here? You know?
Like they still here.
Like it's a movie. You know what I mean? Like, can we just act like that don't happen, and like what they're supposed to do is how the movie is?
Aww.
But you know, unfortunately, it's not the truth at times.
Yeah. Selena's death is
so tragic, though.
very tragic, and it's a death that I feel like I will never get over. Like, it's like the death of my grandmothers that I'll never get over, which I don't even understand this half the time because I never met them. So, but it's both of those deaths are ones that I'm just like, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Like, it's not fair that I didn't get to meet them. Like, how? It's not fair. And for Selena, it's like the same thing. There's other people that I feel the same way about, but
course,
I
yeah.
wanted to compare that. Like, it's like that for me because I remember being a kid, singing all of Selena's songs, practicing, thinking that I was Selena, thinking I was gonna be Selena, and then all of a sudden, like, you just find out at 6 years old that she got murdered by like the fan club president. And knowing that the rest of your life and every time you listen to her music, you just, like, for me, especially as an adult in this age, and you listen to the lyrics and you remember what happened, and you just remember the talent that this woman had and all of these things, it just makes you so sad. So the series, for me, I loved it. I cried so much. I was so in my feelings, and I love a good crying show.
And the music's just fucking awesome, too.
It's exactly the music, and then I love seeing like how some of the ideas of the songs came about. Like, my favorite one is how Beady Beady Bomb Bomb came out, and it was because it was like a jam session because they were doing a sound check, and it just came out like. They just started playing, you know, random different rhythms, and then Selena came and freestyled and did the itty bitty bubbles. And then fish. Like, she just freestyled, you know, and it became one of her biggest hits. And I loved hearing that story. Another story that I loved seeing was the one about No Me Queda Más, which Hav and I were saying is just such a relatable song. And for those who don't know what No Me Queda Más means, it's kind of like I have nothing.
Yeah,
like I don't have any more.
I don't have any more.
I don't have any more to give you.
Yeah, to give you any faith that I have put in, any belief, or any considered
No me queda más.
considered thought that I had you know, any high regard. Oh man, and that one was a great story. Just in like, yeah, that might have been one of the best because. And I'm surprised because Suzette is kind of a producer. I mean, I don't want to say kind of producer. Is a producer.
She is a producer on the
on the
show.
Series. So
she
I
definitely knew that story. Yeah.
Yeah. And I wonder what her perspective is, or, you know, like, not saying that like, oh, she's wrong for not liking him back, but like, you know, just kind of like her reaction on what that would look like. And that's, I guess, what like this did for me too. It's like, man, it gave me more of the family dynamic, which was cool too. What did you think about how they ended it though, with kind of like, you know, her doing the talk at the high school, I mean, or the school, the Kumbak Kings?
I thought it was
and I'm only laughing because we met them boys, you know what I mean?
We did meet them. We did
boys,
meet the Cumbia boys. So that was pretty cool. I remember that. I was actually talking to shout out to Grisel, my eyelash girl. Remember, if y'all need your lashes done, y'all go ahead and hit my girl up, Grisel. It's Misky Lashes.
Yo, what y'all want? Y'all want someone to talk to? Claudia got it. Y'all want to lose some pounds?
I got that person too. You need your lashes done? I got you. Listen, I got a wax lady on deck.
And a hair lady too.
And a hair lady.
You know?
I got a candle plug.
Facts.
I got dang, I'm over here bragging, but I have like different. There's another one that I do not want to forget.
Maybe you shouldn't. That's the one that you don't want to tell, Claudia. Keep on moving.
I got a publishing plug too.
Publishing plug. Hey.
With Molding Messengers. I actually have. I have Across the Bridge of Rikers Island story.
Hey,
I don't think I showed
shout
you
out
guys that I got
Steve,
this,
man.
but shout out to Steven. I actually have this because I'm going to be taking a picture with it later. You guys will see it on my Instagram or on Steven. So I just need to have it there. I'm the type of person that if I don't see that bitch right in front of my face, I'm going to forget. And I don't want to forget because I forgot 5 days in a row. So
Okay, comment below if you relate to that, because that's relatable as fuck.
I forgot 5 days in a row. Steven, listen, I'm so sorry. I got you though. I got you.
It's gonna be in front of me now.
I got your picture. Okay, so I did want to say a little bit more about the Selena story. Something that I also liked was kind of the side that they gave this lady who killed Selena, Yolanda.
Yeah.
They kind of gave her a little bit more, because in the movie you just see like the super sweet side,
Right?
the
Yeah.
super, like, they didn't villainize her as much as they did in the series, and I love that. Because she's been a villain to me my entire life.
Right. And
So-
she's the villain of the story.
She's the villain. She's the villain of the story, even though it can be.
Huh? Oh, the dad.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's another topic. But also, what I would say is, well, oh man, damn, Clyde, you fucked me up with that one.
I'm sorry, but it's because it's true.
It's true, but yeah, it is true. I am off of it right there. But damn. Oh yeah, keep up. Go. Oh
No, Yolanda, about her being the villain.
Well,
She's the villain of the story.
And I remember saying this on part one. This is nothing to compare the movie, and I'm the one fucking bringing up the movie. 'Cause I didn't do it, but like to bring up the movie or anything like that. Like this is the best TV show of this story, like that they could make right now. You know what I mean? Could other things been better? Yeah, but also like think about other like budgets. They had to spread out the budget between 2 parts. You know, so like yeah, I'll make fun of the driving scenes and shit like that. But they did as far as
the driving scenes and the performance scenes, we could have even done without them, but you can't do without the performance scenes because it's Selena.
Yeah.
Like how you're just not gonna put a performance, but like sorry, Kav, go ahead. I got a little too excited.
Not keep on.
But with like how Hav says, like you have a budget, and something that I think that they were specifically good at was
the story of it.
The story, yes, but also with the reenactment of some of the things. Like maybe you didn't get like the full like oh my god experience, but you know you got the kind of like the aesthetic of what it was like, how she was dressed, how the backup singers were dressed. I liked how they showed, you know, the parents being on the stage, and my favorite scene, I'm happy that you finished, when she comes out of the car for the Grammys of the limo, and she comes out like as like a little girl, and then like I think it starts out like her a little bit younger than the age that she is, and then a little younger, and then it keeps going younger until she's like a little girl, and then her as a little girl is just like, oh shit, this is cool. And then like she steps into the woman again. I thought that was so dope because y'all know me and the childhood shit and childhood trauma and childhood stuff, and knowing that my younger self would think that I'm so fucking cool right now, that to me is like that was like one of my favorite scenes of the movie. I mean of the series. I apologize.
But also the great payoff, and that's also like the things like that they did, and why I think it was a good job. At the end of it, you know, before she leaves the Grammys, she sees her younger self there, and kind of just like, you know, like you're making your younger self proud, and I think that's a part of the childhood trauma, or like, you know, because what you want to see, you want your 8-year-old version of you think that the 28, the 38, the 48 version of you is
cool as fuck. Yeah,
you know, like you don't want to be the one that you know, it's funny. You're fighting for acceptance from yourself, so that's fucking crazy.
I mean, because that's who I want acceptance from. I've been the person who has been the hardest on myself my entire life. So if I think that my 8-year-old self would think that I'm cool as fuck right now, then maybe that's all the comfort that I need.
Bitch. So leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, like that could be possibly like the only comfort that I need, because sometimes when I don't feel like I'm that shit, like thinking back to how I was when I was 8 years old and the things that I wanted, it's just like, holy shit, bitch, you have it. You literally have it. Like, you're living it. And it's so cool. Like, imagine talking to her and telling her, like, oh, yeah, so you actually got a golden retriever and you actually are doing this and you are in front of a mic every week. Like, like, it's beautiful, man. It's so beautiful. I also wanted to share something else. That I encountered, or I guess you can say stumbled upon across. And it was along the lines of wanting to over communicate or wanting to over explain yourself. And I love talking, as you guys can see. I don't like talking about my feelings or sometimes about the reality of what's going down. And so for myself, I am constantly always trying to become better. And with that, I always say this and I feel like I sound like a broken record, but with that, when you want to become aware of certain things, you start asking yourself these questions. And once you start asking yourself these questions, as I have said before as well, you start to get the answers. You start to look for them. You start to see how can you get the answers. And I've had to tell myself multiple times that I have to stop trying to control a situation that has already happened. And I do that by asking these questions. Like something that happened in January, I'm thinking about it and I'm thinking about all the different things that could have gone differently. What could I have done? And I had this conversation with Hav about how what could I have done? Could I have been more affectionate? Of course, I'm talking about heartbreak. I mean, of course, I'm talking about relationship shit.
It hasn't been past that hour, but it's about that hour. It's about that hour we talk about it.
And so, of course, you start to think like, wow, what could I have done differently? Could I have been more affectionate? Could I have maybe been a little bit more colder? Given the cold shoulder more, right. Should I have been a bigger bitch? Should I have been this? Should I have this? Should I have that? And it's just like, that happened. What
do I need more of? Or
do I need more of it? Do I need to something? I don't fucking know. It's tailored to whoever. It's not me. It's just to whoever. And you just start to ask yourself these questions, especially when you feel like something was supposed to go right and then it doesn't. And so,
and you wanted
it to go right so well. You feel like you almost did everything that you could have, even ignore certain things so that it went well. And then when it crashes and falls, and then a couple months later, of course, you're going to think about it, because when time passes, you mature more. You notice that, hey, I was saying that I was cool about this and that I was good, but this shit actually really hurts. And why do I keep pretending like it doesn't? Like, who am I pretending for? Am I pretending for myself? Because
that's a good question.
I can keep pretending, but my mind isn't going to stop thinking about it. My mind isn't going to, no matter how much I pretend, oh, no, it doesn't bother me. Because listen, I got this icebox where my heart used to be. That's me, right? That's who I pride myself in being. But then it's like, why are you acting like that? Why are you even saying that for? That's not who you are. That's just a song you be singing when you want to feel that way. Right.
But you're a loving person.
But you're a loving person. You're a caring person. And then you feel like you could have you ask yourself, what could I have done differently? How can I become a better person for the next person? And so you just go into all of these different things and
what could I
have done, and what could I have and how I want to know, what do you do? I say all of that to say that. So what do you do when you feel that way? Do you contact the person? Do you talk to, what do you do?
It all depends on who and what and how it ended off, right? Sometimes it ends off in a place, but I could only speak about the most recent experience. So yeah, that, you kind of double back. you know, because you probably feel like you didn't do something wrong or it wasn't that big of a deal, and you know maybe it's something you could work past, or you know, the feeling is strong enough that you would want to work it out with this person because you wanted it to go well so bad. So yeah, you know, but but also some of the times is also putting up a front, or trying to fool yourself and believe that, nah, fuck a bitch, you know, I'm on to the next. You know what I mean? There's plenty of fishes in the sea. Let me just keep on going, you know. And when you stumble across a couple of landmines, and I don't mean it like that, you know, they could still be beautiful women. It just doesn't click like that because I'm someone that, and I'm learning this, you know, in singlehood, I guess you could say, or like that.
The hardest hood.
Huh?
No, they say motherhood is harder.
Oh, shout out to his Mother's Day. Yeah, shout out to all the moms tomorrow. Yeah. Damn, I should have been grateful for mommy. My bad, mommy. Yeah, much. I got you on the next episode. But damn, yeah, like I forgot what I was saying.
That in your singlehood you learn something.
Oh, in my singlehood that I learned that like I have to be real, like I have to really like and enjoy someone's company rather than it just being a sexual attraction, or just being like knowing that this person is interested in you, so you'll play along with their emotions, you know. I'm just someone that's like that. So when it's finally like I'm open to that, I would try to do everything to, you know, help that. Especially since I think that, like, you know, well, just because the older generation, like, you've seen your parents go through so much and they stay down, you know, and it's just like, dang, what if we just, you know, fucking stay down, you know, like, people go through shit, you know? You
stay down, you're gonna always be down.
Especially when it's like, all right, like, no disrespectful shit, you know what I mean? Like, or like, you know, like you didn't cheat on me, you didn't do this, or, I mean, how could you have cheated on me if we were not like an official couple? But, you know, like,
it still hurts.
Yeah, it's talk about it. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it does. It does. If I'm being honest, and the reason why I'm even talking about this is because this is real life shit. For me, I'm gonna hit you up, bro. Straight up.
Yeah, that's what you doing?
I mean, that's what I did. Because I felt that way. I felt like, what the fuck? Like,
instead of searching for answers.
Yeah, like I was
the person up.
Yeah, like I'm just over here and I didn't get the answer that I wanted. Not because I didn't know what to expect, because you don't know what to expect when you decide to be a little bit transparent with somebody who has hurt you. You know, you don't know how that's going to end up.
Right.
But for myself, what I went into it with was just be honest. Like, if you just go in, if you just go in there and just be honest and be real, then whatever it is that they say, it doesn't matter, because you were just real to yourself anyway. So I went into it with that mindset, and then it felt good because sometimes you just have to say it. Like, sometimes you just have to tell the person, because I knew when I told my brother about it, and I still couldn't stop thinking about it, and I couldn't like get it out of my mind and continuously feel that way. I knew that it was time to like talk to the person about it. And you know, I did. And I expressed how I felt, and that's what made me feel good, was being able to express myself, and then them not even being harsh or being judgmental or anything. It was just kind of like, nothing's wrong with you. Like, I'm the asshole. You know, like, nothing's wrong with you. I was just being an idiot, you know? And that's not what I was just like, you're just stroking my ego, you know? Like, you're, and then that's when I knew that his outlook on our situation isn't the same as mine. With him, he sees me as this because he lost me. And then I see him as this because he hurt me. So it's like, he's never going to be able to actually answer those questions that I'm asking myself, because to him, nothing was wrong with me.
Yeah. That was all on him. On and off topic, because it is mental health awareness. Some retail therapy is always a good thing, especially nah, I'm just saying that because of when something's on your mind, and that's what was fucking with me a couple of days. You know, just like, damn, do I buy this? Do I don't buy this? You know, like I have the money, I don't have the money. You know, like,
is one of the worst people when it comes to that.
So like yeah like you
I
guys,
love
if you guys
you,
been
Huff.
if no it's facts, because you know what I relate to so bad, and like the TikTok, one of Margaret Simpson, when she's like, and then like it's her daughter telling like, oh, you don't gotta justify every single purchase, you know. And she's just like, you're right, I'm gonna buy it, it'll be good for the economy, you know, like kind of thing. So yeah, pull that trigger. You know, sometimes if you could afford it, though, you know, you could afford it, and not necessarily saying that sometimes it has to be a material item or like something to retail or something that you're buying, because a phone call is something that's on your mind too, you know, or that book that you wanted to start writing page one tonight, you know, or whatever it is, you know, you wanted to tell your boss kind of fuck you in the most polite way, or hey, bro, let's fucking talk. So,
Like,
yeah.
speaking up, yeah.
Yeah, speaking up and just doing it. Just doing it, because I know that's a major part of my anxiety, is kind of like that whole, like, when I'm playing jumper rope with a decision. And I feel like
Playing jump rope with a decision. Dang, I kind of like that for the episode name.
Hey, there you have it. There you have it.
Playing
But yeah,
jump rope with a decision.
I know that's funny, because it's already day 7 in. It's already been a mental health heavy week, 7 days.
Literally,
So, like,
I feel like as soon as
I'm rubbing the table.
Yeah, like April 30th. No, it was like when that full moon happened, like the 27th or the 26th. Shit just went. My mind, guys, you don't understand. Listen, ambition gets tired. Ambition gets tired. I feel like there's some other things that I want to share, so let me just take a glance at my telephone real quick to
as you do that, without remorse, I'm gonna say this without remorse: don't watch it. Do something better and more productive with your time. Invincible, also on Amazon. Go ahead and watch that. They have the Generational Hustle on HBO. Saw a couple episodes. Good.
What's generational? What's that?
That's the one that they were that the JBP was talking about with the rapper.
Oh, that was that.
Yeah.
I keep skipping it because I didn't think it was that one.
Yeah, is that one. The Selena, of course, you know Selena. Selena, go ahead and watch that.
For Selena.
Mortal Kombat, I was okay with. It wasn't as offensive as Without Remorse. So, I mean, if you hated that, definitely stay away from Without Remorse. My number one recommendation: if you're watching something or need something to watch Invincible. You know, if you have Disney Plus, you know, you have the Star Wars shit, you know, the Bad Batch, and of course the Mighty Ducks series that I'm watching.
And The Big Shot too.
And The Big Shot. Yeah, and The Big Shot too.
I'm so happy tomorrow's Saturday.
I couldn't remember.
Well, today's Saturday.
Today is Saturday. It's worth the wait Saturday.
Oh my goodness. Yes, that too. It's 2 years of Shea Butter Baby.
Yeah.
One of the best albums ever.
It's got excited like
Period. I am so grateful for this album. I have to say this because every time that I listen to it, I always go back to a time where I just felt like the most womanliest woman ever. I am speaking of my 30th birthday. And I always think about that time in my life and turning 30 and how I felt and all the emotions. And it's just a lot turning 30 that they put so much pressure on turning 30, and then you turn 30 and it's like, oh, it's lit. Oh, this is what it's like over here. Cool.
Yeah, bitch, I'm done for another 30.
Yeah, like exactly. So I loved it. So that album always reminds me of that time in my life. And it was just an album that I always play. I remember.
Always play it. I only heard it because of Claudia. I didn't even have to hear it. It's one of those albums. And not saying that she deserved a gold plaque, but she probably ran up the numbers for a gold plaque. So Ari Sutton,
Yeah. So
Sutton.
shout out to her.
Shout out
She's
to
been
her.
looking so beautiful. She's been one of my
Has she?
inspirations to give up sugar, because she has given up sugar and she looks so good. So Ari, shout out to you. Congratulations on 2 years of Shea Butter Baby. I fucking love that album. I can't. Oh, I'm
we're right
I
there.
am
We're cruising.
good.
We're cruising. Nah, girl,
I
you
am
great.
good.
It's 11:11 while we're recording this.
Yes, sir. Don't act like you don't know, though. Okay, so another thing that I found was on June 17th, Beyonce, Quincy Jones, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, Sean Love Combs, Missy Elliott, Outkast, and Usher Raymond will be inducted and honored at the Black Music and Entertainment Walk of Fame. The event will take place in Atlanta, Georgia. Will Beyonce be there, though?
Oh my God, that is the number one question.
We know we're not gonna be there, though.
Congratulations to all of those people. Well, I mean, more than deserved, I would say, with all those those names there. I mean, you could have stopped right there with the first three, and great, and even the last three. Good
out
to
to
see the
Outkast.
Outkast, yeah, because that's what I'm thinking about. Outkast, it's always great when Diddy gets recognized.
Not just that, but for
Quincy
Missy, for me, because I see Missy, I see Outkast, and I see like Usher, that I feel deserve to be in this category. But if you think about it, like, it's not always that you get to be in the same thing as Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones, Stevie Wonder, and also Beyonce.
Yeah.
And then we're throwing Diddy in there too. So, and Diddy is just like a whole like thing himself.
Stevie needs to be there. That's definitely for sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is this like the first time? Is this like
I don't know if this is new.
Or new.
I have no idea.
Just because of the names, or
yeah,
and no knock on that. That's great. Atlanta has the Walk of Fame now. Really, the names that really matter in
the Black Walk of Fame.
The Black Walk of Fame. All the names that matter. I think just in American culture, like not fuck. Not just in Black culture. People looking at it like that. Like, no, this is also American heroes too. I feel like because the music that they've given us, has probably helped a lot of people going through some mental health, or helping them take them back. I know that once I hear "Don't Leave Your Girl Around Me," true player for real. That's my for real. But that takes me back. It makes me think about certain someone when things were going swelly, or rather smoothly, as I like to say. Right. But then that's just one of the examples. So, Stevie Wonder around the time that he was making music, Quincy Jones with Michael Jackson, and even doing "We Are the World." Like they've given back to like musicians are also humanitarians too. I feel like
that's why they have the humanitarian award. I think it's in the BET awards that they have it.
Oh yeah, that's super cool.
I think that's dope, and so shout out to all those people that are gonna be recognized, inducted, if you would. Cole dropped a new song.
Yeah, Interlude. Did you listen to it?
Yeah, I listened to it. It was one of the first songs I heard this morning.
What do you think?
I liked it. I mean, it's Cole.
It's cool.
Like, that's the only thing that I can say. Like, people are just like, "Oh, did you hear what he said?" It's just like, yeah, it's Cole.
I'm not sure if this is a hot take or not a hot take. I'm not sure. Because Cole is teasing this up like the end is soon. Mm-hmm. But man, because he kind of got into this new little pocket now, and then also being, it's kind of like when I discover new things, they're just like, damn, oh man, that approach or that cadence or whatever, that tone of voice, that flow, the bars, whatever it is that's a little different, you kind of unlock something. And I feel like, damn, well, if you could do that, man, you got to give it like another 5 more years. Imagine where you could take it. Because I don't know. I feel like it was also refreshing to hear Cole, but also Cole in a new way.
Yeah.
Not just because, and I don't want to say not just J. Cole, because I would have been fucking down for that too. know. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like I enjoyed that part of the song, and just that, like, damn, is the end really soon for J. Cole, or like him just chucking it away, not hopefully he doesn't pass or anything like that. But like, because it's the end. Talking about Selena. Now I'm getting depressed. But yeah.
I wanted to. What were you gonna say, How?
Who do you think? Who's 1, 2, and 3 with Cole, Kendrick, and Drake in your opinion?
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, or instead of that, what is that they
But
they do
in regards to what? How am I judging them?
Well, how about this? One, you're doing you're gonna do a collab album. Like, who would you collab album with? Who would you have as a feature? And and then the third one, I guess, will be the verse that you delete.
Okay, this is
a game.
Yeah, it's a game. Okay. Oh.
I'm gonna collab.
Yeah, you go first.
I'm collabing with I don't know, because since you're taking a while.
Yeah, I this is hard for me because I'm not an artist.
and it's crazy to say. I'm an artist.
Because like, do you delete the Drake one? Do you delete the Kendrick one? Like, how do I even pick which one I would delete? Like, I want all of them.
Yeah, but it's a game, Claudia. Say it.
Okay, so I would want a collab. It would be a collab album.
Yeah.
A collab album. I would like a collab album with Kendrick.
Okay, and who was getting the feature?
I would want Cole to be my feature.
And then we delete in the Drake verse.
And I would unfortunately have to delete the Drake feature. I mean, yeah, the Drake verse.
She's solid, y'all. She said, "Fuck the clout."
Well, yeah, because for me,
we in it for hip hop.
Because this is how exactly. Well, this is how I think of it. I saw what Kendrick did with the Black Panther album, and I've seen what Kendrick has done with his projects alone. Period.
So imagine you.
So imagine with me, yeah, and with Kendrick, and then he's from California, and I just would love that even more. And a whole project, and then even the songs that he's done with like SZA and just like the other ones that he has done too, like why not? I would love that. And I also like the beats that he uses. And then Cole, why wouldn't I want a Grammy winning feature artist on my song?
Hello. So why don't you want the Drake verse then? Because he on everybody verse, huh? Or what?
Yeah, it could be that, and it could also just be kind of like I would prefer one of the songs of the other artist.
Because also it's what those two have a little bit in common with Cole and Kendrick. This is like they're just not out everywhere, or they're not hopping on everything.
Yeah, it's kind of like
hopping on anything or anything. And not saying that Drake has done that. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like. They're not as, and I don't want to say, they're not
like
as active.
it's more unlikely to get one from them.
Yeah,
so if it comes down to, okay, well you can either get you can have the feature and you can have the collab album with these two different artists, but you can't keep the Drake one because there's no more budget for that, or like it's something like that. Like if it's something like that, then yeah, the Drake verse can go because I'm gonna be like, what? So I'm able to get a collab album, a whole collab album with Kendrick, and then maybe anybody from his camp as well. Like, okay, let's do it.
Okay, Schoolboy Q.
Yeah, like let's do it. And so the same thing with Cole. Like with Cole, like when am I gonna get another chance to get another verse from Cole, like a feature from Cole? How do I not know that he's gonna give me the best verse that he's ever given me, and then he's never gonna give another verse ever again? like I want to be the last verse he gives a verse to, like the last person he gives a verse to. So that was my logic.
There you have it. There you have it.
That's my logic.
Live on Candy Camera.
On Candy Camera. What about you? Did you already share it?
But more or less the same. I would have. I probably would have got, or the Cole verse. Just kind of like or deleting the Cole verse and get the Drake feature. But also then I don't know. It's just it's kind of like a toss up. You probably ask me tomorrow. It's probably a different question.
I believe you.
So
I believe you have.
But yeah.
So I want to give a shout out to all the hot mamas out there. all of the hot mamas. I'm celebrating Mother's Day again.
Claudia is a mother this year for Mother's Day, so
Yes, sir. I'm a dog mama. It counts.
it does count.
It does count.
So act accordingly.
Yes.
And shout out to all the dog mommies out there too.
You guys are dogs mom too.
All the step moms too. That's been holding it down.
Yes. Yes, just shout out to all the moms, the single moms, the ones who have lost their partner due to like death. However it is, like, our hearts are out to you. Thank you for everything that you do. You guys are shaping the future. You guys have endured pain that none of us can ever we don't know what it feels like. So shout out to you ladies. Specifically, I want to shout out to my mom because listen, I just wish that I could, like Selena said this, like, I wish I could bottle up your love and be half the mom that you were. And that to me is exactly how I feel about my mom, because I always think to myself, I'm just like, how am I ever going to be the same, like a better mom than my mom? Like, and the only way that I think of that is by doing this and chasing that dream, you know, like going after for what's mine. And that to me, I feel is going to help me maybe not be better than my mom, but it's going to help me be the better woman that she would have wanted me to be, which in turn is just going to make me an all around better woman, which in turn is going to make me a better mom when the time comes. Well, to be.
That's right. Thank you, mommy. Amor Jim, I love you, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you for everything that you do. And yeah, if my wife could be half the woman you are, that would just be a blessing as well. Luckily I don't have one, so I could still say that.
Yeah, for real. You can't say it when like you got her.
You got one, or like so that, and then also all the moms too, you know,
and all the mommies in heaven too.
And all the all the mommies in heaven, right?
Man,
and all the
what it is to be a mom.
The second moms too, you know, the ones that look after your boy, you know.
Oh yes, shout out to all the like unofficial, official moms.
Yeah, like, you know,
at work,
so
you always got that
sweet,
one lady who's kind of like your mom.
She's your shift mom.
Yes. And speaking of shifts, I asked my Instagram. I was about to wrap up, but I do want to share this because I was looking through my story, because sometimes I post stuff on my story so that I can remember to talk about it on the podcast. Okay, so I asked on Instagram, if we were to have 3-day weekends, what day would you prefer to be added to the weekend? I asked Monday or Friday. 57% of my followers said Monday and 43% said Friday. I agree with the 57% because I like the fact that I don't have to go to work on Monday. Mondays aren't always. I actually did this on a Monday because I had a hard Monday. I was like, dang, I wish I was off today.
I wouldn't have to be enduring under this pain.
I wouldn't be feeling this way. This Monday will be different, though. I am claiming it today. Okay, let me see if there's anything else before I go ahead and wrap this up, because I want to end it with a little funny thing I found this morning on the Instagram.
on the Instagram. Whoa.
Oh man. Okay, really quickly, RIP to Nala, who has been in doggy heaven for 2 years already. So RIP to our older dog. Hav was recommending some things to watch, and 2 shows that I want to recommend that are both on Netflix. Netflix cut the check, or at least bring the fucking subscription price down. Like something. I saw
the first Netflix podcast.
It's not. No, they have like specific ones that are for okay, the strong black lead one, which is what Scotty Beam and sorry, I have to shout out the podcast. It's Sylvia Obell, I believe, and another one is with Jessica from On the Block. I'm not sure what her last name is, and then Julissa Calderon, which is one of my homeboys' cousins, that they have like shows that they do that are specific to Netflix and stuff like that. Okay, so the show that I wanted to recommend that I saw on Netflix was Ginny and Georgia. Super crazy show. I told Hav that like wait till the 3rd episode. Hear me out. Just wait till the 3rd episode. I promise you, it starts to unravel a little bit more, and then you're just like, I need all the answers. what the fuck is going on here? What is going on here? And it was a really good show. It shows you like the mother-daughter dynamic. It shows like even the racism that happens to biracial children, as well as self-harm, which I think right now is such a taboo but needs to be talked about more, because it's something that actually occurs more than you guys would like to believe. We're talking about mental health awareness this month, and that's something that happens when you feel however it is that you may be feeling. You feel that that's something that's going to make you feel better, and it's not always the answer. So I like that it showed that. It showed how you sometimes do not know your parents and what they are capable of, and the bad things that they do to... It just shows a different dynamic, and it kind of opened my eyes to certain things. It kind of like took the... What is it? You know how like
Innocence?
No, it took like, you know when they take the thing off in Scooby-Doo, and it's like the mask off of the thing. It kind of did that on
see
some
the person's real face?
on something in my life. So really good show. Another one that I watched was The Baker and the Beauty. Really sad because that show has only one season and it wasn't renewed for a second one, and it was so good, so I really liked it. And it's based in Miami, which was the main reason why I watched it, because it's in Miami. Of course, I always it's like I don't live here. 'Cause I'm like, oh, I want to see like the city. And so that actually made me want to go out. I think that weekend or something like that, I told Hav like, oh, let's take Bae to one of these parks or something like that. So we ended up doing that. So that was great. So those are two shows that I recommend watching as well. I believe we talked about the Tina doc, which I think you should watch as well. Another doc that I saw was a Bee Gees one. Amazing. I fucking loved it. It was so good. I watched it with my mom, who I would have not want to have watched it with anybody else, because she's the reason why I fell in love with the Bee Gees. So shout out to that. And Hav, can you please tell everybody when your birthday is?
It's September 24th.
And that makes you a Libra, right?
That does make me a Libra.
All right. So I have this little thing on my story that says, what's your debut song title? So your birthday is September. Okay. So it's called Ironic. That's how we started off.
Oh,
Ironic 24. So it's Ironic Dior, and you're a Libra. So do you want to know who your song is featured by?
Sure.
Mariah Carey.
Nice.
So it's called the name. The name of your song is Ironic Dior featuring Mariah Carey.
Hey,
and my birthday, guys, for those that don't know, and it's getting closer, so act accordingly. Like how Hav says, June 9th is your girl's birthday. I accept all Cash App and Zelle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if
Cash
you
App
want
is Claudia.
those foot pics, those feet pics.
Oh, Hav, please don't. Don't encourage people.
I was talking about mine. My bad.
Don't encourage people. So my debut single title will be Sexy Drugs featuring Britney Spears.
Hey, that's lit.
That is lit. I thought
Free
so.
Britney too.
Yeah, for real. That was another one that Hav said that he watched
really
that he said was really good.
And also, since you were talking about show on Netflix, my first octopus teacher, or my first octopus teacher, one of those, or something like that. That documentary is really good. Won an Academy Award. That was really good. Also, Metal of Sound, or the Sound of Metal. Excuse me. That one's another good one too. That and especially for my music lovers out there, that one, really good. A slow burner, but it's way better than Mortal
Slow
Kombat
burners, like I hate when that happens, but then you end up finding something that just makes a show better. And you're like, oh shoot, okay, dang, that's the time that we're at. No wonder. No wonder. For those of you who are wondering why you're just looking at a screen that says the Ambition Hour podcast, it's because this is now just an audio experience. And you will be seeing my beautiful face very shortly. I can assure you that. I was really going to end the episode and hold up, because I just saw the Method Man and Redman verses. And that was really dope. I apologize because I am a hip hop fan, but I did end up falling asleep towards the end, and that's what I get for laying down. Like it takes literally nothing for me to fall asleep nowadays, and it's because I just be so fucking tired.
It be like that, dog.
Yeah, especially Hav can be a witness. I have not been the type of person to ever wake up before 9 a.m. on a day off, or 8 o'clock. I would barely wake up on time for work before we got Bay. And now I literally have like 3 hours available to me before I go to work. And so they start to catch up with me, So, okay, guys, I'm just going to look one more time. That's it. I'm not going to look again. Okay.
Yeah. We're going to be back next week.
I know.
Dog.
I wanted to share that for some reason I have picked up this coffee addiction, and I want to say that I'm going to work on it, but I don't want to make any false promises, because then this is like posted and like people see it. And so like if you see me like in line at Starbucks or some shit like that, and then I'm drinking coffee, like I don't want you to be like, hey, but you said on the podcast that you're going to stop drinking coffee, because it's not true. I don't know if I can knock this habit as of right now. But I am acknowledging it, and the first step is acceptance, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what they told me in the 12-step program.
Okay, guys. Well, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure, as always, having you as my co-host.
Thank you.
Make sure you guys go ahead and check out Breathe 5 by Spitz. It's a great project. Make sure that you guys check it out. He was our special guest last week. He is part of the Dub T Dub family, so make sure that you check it out. I know Hav's on the project, Laidback's on the project, Flight's on the project. Who else is on the project, Hav?
That's it.
I got
it. Oh yeah, but Tragic's behind all the beats too.
Yes, shout out to Tragic for being behind all the beats, and also the engineering as well. So shout out to him for doing that. I'm trying to think of anything else before. I don't want to go, guys. I had so much fun this past week, and I almost feel weird because outside is all like literally open, but guys, we are still in a pandemic. So please make sure to still wash your hands, wash your ass, drink your water, and mind your business.
Please.
And for the 166th time in a row, it's your girl Claudia Renee on your airwaves with my co-host Have 600, and we are out of here.
It's the ambition hour, baby. It's the ambition hour, baby. It's the ambition hour, baby.
You know what it is?